Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel, Arabong Hilaw, PSKSA.
What would you think of the public thinking that somebody who affirmed that sometimes we should bend the law has become the ombudsman of this republic?
I do not have time really to read the social media, but my position is different. I am a believer of the rule of law. I was justice for several years at a regional trial court. When I was a regional trial court, I adhered to precedents. Also, when I was a justice in the Court of Appeals, I adhered to the precedents. When I was in the Supreme Court, whenever I make a ruling, I was very aware that our decisions will be considered as precedents by those following us. So that's my experience being in the judiciary. That's why I believe in the rule of law.
And the previous rules of the Judicial and Bar Council, those with pending cases or pending complaints are automatically disqualified. The case in point is that case of then Senator, now Congresswoman Laila de Lima. Because of her pending disbarment case in 2012, she was automatically disqualified. But soon enough, your rules were revised, and because of that, under Section 5 of your revised rules, Paragraph B, those with pending administrative cases or complaints before any court, office, tribunal, or government office, agency, or instrumentality, or before the IBP, or any association, disciplinary committee, or body, when in the determination of the council the complaints are serious or grave as to affect their fitness for nomination, ay disqualified lamang po, but again, kung madidetermine ng council na yung complaints are serious or grave as to affect their fitness for nomination. Ang ibig pong sabihin nito, Justice, if the council feels that the complaints are not serious or grave enough to affect their fitness or nomination, hindi po madi-disqualify yung applicant. Is that correct, sir?
With respect to disqualifications, there are automatic disqualifications like if you have been you have pending cases in criminal cases in the courts. And
Yes, Justice. Ang sinasabi ko po yung sa Section 5, which
Yes.
says the following are disqualified from being nominated for appointment in any judicial post or the position of ombudsman, deputy ombudsman.
Yes,
Ito pong sinabi ko, pero ang kolatilya po, when in the determination of the council, the complaints are serious or grave. Ibig sabihin po, kung hindi serious at saka hindi grave, hindi po siya madi-disqualify.
po,
That's right, sir.
it pertains to the administrative cases po. If it is pending in the ombudsman, an applicant is automatically disqualified. But with respect to the pending administrative cases or complaints before any office, court, tribunal, or any government office, ito po subject to this discretion of each member. Yun ang
Yun nga po ang ibig ko sabihin, Justice.
hindi ho automatic.
Yun nga po. So, ibig sabihin nito dahil nag-file po ng disbarment si Mayor Sebastian Duterte,
Yes po.
Ibig sabihin po, in the discretion of the council, hindi siya serious or grave enough. Tama po ba?
Ang what I heard yesterday was the argument that it refers the complaint refers to the same act previously which was in a complaint previously dismissed by the ombudsman or earlier dismissed by the ombudsman. Yun nag-prevail na reason yesterday. I just cannot disclose the members who gave those reasons, but it prevailed yesterday. Yes, sir.
This representation, Justice, filed a sworn opposition to the application of Secretary Remulla to the office of the Ombudsman on two grounds. Secretary Remulla publicly announced that he added restitution as requirement to the Witness Protection Program. That requirement does not exist in the law, but he insisted. That justice, to my mind, clearly indicates or demonstrates the lack of required legal acumen as well as adherence to the standards of probity befitting an ombudsman. Second, the Secretary's affirmation of the bending the law constitutes a violation of the Code of Professional Responsibility and Accountability. These two grounds, Mr. Justice, are not enough for the JBC to consider.
It's like this. We receive your complaint or opposition against Secretary Remulla. We considered the reasons, but there were two issues yesterday. First was whether or not he is disqualified. And then do now pumasok sa, because he was not disqualified, he can be voted upon, pumasok na dun yung consideration of the merits of your complaint. No, he was not able to get a unanimous vote. Pero hindi ko na masabi ko sino yung mga votante. But they considered the reasons you gave. Your two reasons were very important. We received them, we read them, and we considered them. But
how did you consider that? How did the council consider the sworn opposition?
Ano yun? Nasa weight na ko yun. Nasa weight. Not sa qualification or disqualification, but on the weight na sa voting ng a considered candidate, nandun na sa weight to yun. The members, majority are appointed by the president. They considered that it is, they voted, the majority voted for him, so they did not give it much weight, or the opposition.
Mr. Justice, one of the overarching principles that guided the creation of the 1987 Constitution is the desire to promote the rule of law, as is stated in our own preamble. Pag sinabi po nating rule of law, this is the guiding post. When somebody affirms that sometimes we can bend the law, the JBC took that very lightly, Mr. Justice?
No, Your Honor, we, in the interpretation of the law, we can be strict, or we can be, what do you call that? For example, in the interpretation of the Constitution, if you are a strict one, they call you an originalist. And if you want to adapt to the times, they call you are a believer of the living Constitution. I don't know.
We're not interpreting the Constitution, Mr. Justice.
Yes,
I'm asking you whether the rule of law is still the foundation of our Constitution.
it is very much the foundation.
When somebody affirms that the law can be bended, that is inconsistent with the Constitution. Don't you think so?
Yes, I agree with that, but sometimes it depends upon the context of how it is used, the bending of the law, whether it is freely, if they are interpreting it liberally.
Did you know how it was used, Mr. Justice?
Yes,
We were discussing
Yes,
whether
Your
or not restitution
yes, Your Honor.
is a requirement for an applicant to be processed under the Witness Protection Program.
Yes, yes.
And suddenly the Secretary of Justice insisted that one requirement is restitution. It is not there.
Aware of that, yes.
And somebody suggested that sometimes the law should be bent. That
Yes,
was
sir.
the context, Mr. Justice.
I heard it, Your Honor. I saw it on
And if you hear it from no less than the Secretary of Justice, abrogating all the cornerstones of our belief in ourselves, in our Constitution, then you still include him as an applicant to the Ombudsman. Somebody who will preside over the lives, the properties and liberties of every citizen of this country. You take light of that. The JBC will take light of that, Mr. Justice.
the majority considered it as slight.
So the majority
The majority.
took light of the opposition of a senator of this republic, Mr. Justice.
That is a fact, Your Honor.
And 6 of them, based on their discretion, the opposition is not worth it. Is that it, Mr. Justice?
There were six yes, excluding the secretary himself, because he is also a member of the Judicial and Bar Council.
Because of his inclusion in the shortlist, Mr. Justice, will you favor amending further your rules
Yes, Your Honor. We
that
have-
would give a chance that all prospective nominees or applicants to the Ombudsman should already be subjected not to the JBC, but the Commission on Appointments.
It's up to you, Your Honor.
It's only a suggestion, Mr. Justice.
But with respect,
Just thinking aloud, Mr. Justice.
yes, Your Honor. With respect to the JBC, we have set tomorrow up to Friday to review and amend the internal rules of the JBC, considering past incidents. And we are inviting the public to submit their recommendations. So it will be a 3-day workshop to amend the internal rules of the Judicial and Bar Council.
What would you think of the public thinking that somebody who affirmed that sometimes we should bend the law has become the ombudsman of this republic?
I do not have time really to read the social media, but my position is different. I am a believer of the rule of law. I was a justice for several years at a regional trial court. When I was a regional trial court, I adhered to precedents. Also, when I was a justice in the Court of Appeals, I adhered to the precedents. When I was in the Supreme Court, whenever I make a ruling, I was very aware that our decisions will be considered as precedents by those following us. So that's my experience being in the judiciary. That's why I believe in the rule of law.
Thank you, Mr. Justice. Any more questions from the floor?
Mr. Chair.
Yes, last question from the chair, Justice.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yun pong mga affiliations like fraternity, sorority, where the applicants belong to, di ba? Paano po kaya, do you have some suggestions, baka sakaling merong mandatory inhibition? Because alam po ninyo, pagka kasama sila sa, malakas po ang impluensya talaga ng mga affiliations. I think that's an open secret. And considering that we are about to, maybe in a few days more, the President will appoint the Ombudsman. Sana yung influence ng affiliation, hindi naman strong. Paano ang inyong, what is your view on this, Mr.
In my
Mr.
experience, at the present time, classmates hindi ho ground for mandatory inhibitions, pati brotherhood in the fraternity, hindi rin automatic ang inhibition, hindi rin mandatory. On also membership in, for example, Rotary, Lions, hindi rin automatic. So it depends. Kung minsan, yung brothers ang naglalaban sa court. But they should be reviewed. Baka at this time, pwede.
Thank you for the answer, Mr. Justice. Any more questions from the floor? If there are no more inquiries and clarifications, Senator Amy.
Yes, Mr. Chair. Thank you very much, Senator Marcoleta and Justice Mendoza. I am, however, deeply disturbed, nay, alarmed by the responses of Justice Mendoza to the questions of the chair, of Congressman Garbin, of Senator Villanueva, and those of myself, casting a doubt on indeed the probity and independence of the Judicial Bar Council. At this juncture, therefore, I am unable, without further clarification and more responsive and adequate answers from the Justice, to support the appointment of Justice Mendoza. I'm sorry po.
Okay guys, yun lang ang video natin for today. At don't forget to follow, like, share, subscribe to my YouTube channel. At marami pong salamat sa inyong lahat. God bless everyone. I love you all. Bye-bye.